It's always been a little stressful treating sick people who are going to die. In those days, if you didn't respond or if you weren't treated, you had an average survival of about 6 weeks. I came back to Queensland at the big early 70s, and it really was backwoods type medicine, not in necessarily in the talent of the medical people, but in the facilities that were provided. I remember early in the piece that I was looking after a young man, a delightful young fellow whose wife had recently only had a baby and they'd had another one. And he died, and I got so upset about that. And I started to think, yeah, if I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, I had to rethink where I was and what I was going to do. And I wrote to a lot of support people. The only one that really listened to me and put his hand up was the Lions Club. It never seemed hard work. You know, the first meetings were held at Keith Ledger's place in his billiard room around a table, and then we'd finish the meeting and have a few drinks and maybe a hit at billiards and go home. And then there were a few things that we had to get done, like the accommodation block and the self-separator. If people are going to come to Brisbane because the treatment is better than it is in Townsville or in Longreach, then they're away from home, so we've got to have somewhere for them to live. So we bought a old Queenslander in Annerley and did it up to 3 flats. And they'd never been empty, ever. When people would come to Brisbane from out of town, we would see them for a time and then they'd go back. We would take them shopping and so forth and support them in their accommodation, but then they would go back and we might not have much to do with them. So then we started to want to expand the foundation throughout the state, so we then started a branch structure. And I think that was extraordinarily important. Then meant that there was a sort of an outreach foundation branch in the town, and they would look after them when they even got home. And during the 80s, we were much more of an ad hoc sort of foundation, and I was trying to work on things being done. And the main reason that I wanted to take on the presidency was to take the next step of fundraising and reinvigorating the foundation and getting bone marrow transplant in Queensland. And that needed a lot of money. If you're going to get a lot of money from corporates, then you need someone who understands corporate. So we got high-profile people, the Knights of the Realm and members of Parliament, and a very good committee was established, and we then went for it. Having done all the things that we essentially wanted to do, set everything in place, like the research, we got ourselves a professorial position with the university, and continued research, which was great in the long term. What the equipment, and every hospital that needs it can apply to us and upgrade to what the standard is. All of these things were done. And then I felt we need an Australian body. We've done Queensland, we better do every other state to be as good. And then we set it in place, and I didn't realise that it was going to take so long and be so difficult. It's easy when you get to my age to look back and think of the things you should have done or could have done. But you know, when people have said, did I ever think that it would grow to the size that it is? Did I ever think the foundation did I plan anything like? And no, it was always just seeing the patients that we cared for get better and have their families look after them and get joy from them, and that should be enough, I think, to motivate a lot of people. But there is no doubt that the Lions Club was totally integral in the commencement, the success. They have helped me enormously in everything that we wanted to do with the foundation.